Hey Jay, you've got quite a bit of symmetry in this room, so I'm going to show you a trick here for these ducts. First, I'm going to make it a non-raised floor data center here. So I'm going to make it 100 by 50 with a room height of about 20 feet. Now, that's a fairly good representation of what you're doing. I'm going to use the crack library here. I just want to show you how to sort. So here I'm going to sort by crack. I'm going to go for crack. I want a flow direction here of upflow. So there's my upflow right there. And I'm going to use a Liebert unit in this case. So I'll grab a Liebert and I'm going to sort it by cooling capacity because I want a big one. I'm going to just hit that twice so it's upside down. And now I have the 105 at the top. I'm going to drag that into my C. I'm going to use that unit. So there's my crack unit there. And the first thing I got to do is position that, right? So I'm going to just take that and rotate it around a couple of times until it faces the direction I want it to face. So I'm going to give it 1, 2, 3, and then I'm done. And now I'm going to just I'll make sure it's up against the wall. I'm going to drag it and let it snap. I just pull it out and let go of my mouse to let it snap back in to make sure it's tight against the wall. I need a few of those, so I'm going to use the clone button. I'm going to make 5 of them. I'm going to offset them, in this case, by 20 feet. Remember that it's the leading edge that I'm measuring on, so it needs to be the length of the crack plus the separation. So the cracks are 10, so I need 20 per. And you see that I've made it so big it is going to go outside the room a little on the last one, but it'll snap it in. So there they are. Nice. Okay? So that was pretty quick. Now I want to put them on the other side. Control C, Control V. I put it in the middle at first because I know it'll be pointing the wrong direction. Then I flip it around twice to get it to go in the right direction. And then I say OK. And then I snap it against the outside wall. And then I'm going to duplicate it again using the clone button. Same procedure. So this time I'll make 5 of them. I'm going to offset it by 20 feet again, and when I hit, you have to wait a second for this thing to, by the way, it says right on it, wait a second. When I say yes, it complained again, but it's because I put 5 instead of 4, so I'm just going to delete 1 and snap that one out. So there's my crack units there, they're laid out. Now I want to put a common header across the entire top of those. So I bring my duct in, and it's pointing in the right direction. It's in the plus X direction. So I just need to get the size right. So I just right mouse click it or double click it to get the size. And here I'm just going to put it in as 3 feet. 3 feet wide, 3 feet high. And as you click into each box, and I'm going to set it at 12 feet off the, 15 feet off the floor as a start point. Okay. Now again, I'm going to snap this thing up out of the room, let it fix itself back. So I just drag it up with my left mouse and let it snap. It corrects itself, it closes the gap. See, it's a little high in the room there, so I may bring that down a little bit just to 12 feet and then apply it. So there we go. So there's my header block. Now one of the features I have here is something called Smart Length. So here's what happens. It'll extend that duct until it hits something with this little Smart Length. So I hit it and it goes all the way to the wall. That's a very handy feature. It'll go through blocks too. You have to hit it a couple of times. But there you go. It'll go until it hits something. Now I've got one. I Control C, Control V to get the second one on the other side. I bring it, let it snap. It's up against the wall, nice and tight. There's my second one. So there's my 2 header blocks. Now I got to connect them to the cracks. This is very slick. So what you do in CoolSim is you just point at where you want the connection to be made. So I rotate the model around a little bit. And I can now see down the alley and the galley, and I just point and say right mouse click, add duct, bang, and then all I have to do is connect it, bang, done. Next one, add duct, hit connect duct, bang, done. This is very, very fast. This is the fastest way I've ever seen to hook these things up to 2 headers like this. So I have to do every one of them. But it's pretty fast, just a couple of mouse clicks, and I'm able to connect all of those up. I'm just going to continue to go through here. You don't even have to be that accurate. Just be approximate. You don't have to be exactly in place. It's just as long as it's looking for the crack in front of it, in front of the duct. You will notice there's a gap between the duct. There needs to be a little gap here. Let me show you right there. See how there's a gap between the duct and the crack? It has to be a few inches at least. Here we have plenty of distance, so I don't have to shrink it up. Sometimes if I'm tight, I have to shrink that duct extension so that it's a gap of about 3 inches between whatever it is I'm trying to attach to and where the duct is, the end of the duct is. But you see, there I am. I connect, no problem. My last one right there, bang. Okay, so now we're all connected. So now I go for my subducts. And there's 2 ways to do subducts, the ones going across. In this case. One of them is I just right mouse click it, I say add duct. This is an extension to the existing, this is a subduct, so it's part of the original duct, it's part of the main duct, it's a child of the main duct, and I can set its parameters here to be whatever I want. So here I'm going to make it a 2x2 up 1.5, and I can use smart length, and now I've just connected it to the other one. So now they're both connected. This is very nice, and now I've got a header connected by a subduct in between them. If I want to put diffusers in, I can point and add diffuser. I can also use the tree to do it. If I wanted to use the tree or the duct designer, I'd open it up, and I'd see I'm on duct 5 right now, and I want to see it's all trees. I want to add a subduct, so first I want to go for Y min, that's the bottom. And then I want to add a diffuser in that case. So just added a diffuser. Now it puts it in the middle each time because it doesn't know where you want it. So you've got to slide it to wherever you want it, and you need to be careful not to put ones on top of another. Okay. Now this all works fine, except I can't clone this guy because it's part of the bigger tree. So I can't replicate that, and if I have a lot of them, it gets tedious. But here's another method. Put in a subduct by itself. Just the subduct. Don't make it a child of the earlier one. Make it a duct by itself, so it's not even a subduct. It's a duct. It's standing on its own. And I'm going to make it to be the same size. And here I can now start to lay my diffusers in and get it all set to go. So you see here it's basically the same exact one. I made it the same size, but it's not connected to the main headers yet. It's just sitting there by itself. And I'm doing that intentionally because I'm going to clone it. And I can clone this because it's standing by itself. This gives me the opportunity to use symmetry. If I've got a lot of these, and in your model you do, I can make one of them and get it set to be, however I want, put the diffusers in it, and then clone it. And it will replicate it throughout the entire room as many times as I want. So here's my standalone duct here. And what I'm going to do is open it up, and I'm going to put the diffusers in it. So here I'm going to add a diffuser. I'm going to add it on Y min. I'm going to add the diffuser. Now the problem is it sticks it right in the middle because it bifurcates it and it puts it right in the middle. So I need to change its size each time, and this is a little bit tedious. And if there's a lot of diffusers to do, you're going to want to take advantage of symmetry. So there's my one diffuser, and I would do the rest of them just like that for one subduct or one duct that goes across the room. Now the nice thing here is I have the smart length. So if I hit smart length, it's going to connect itself to that other duct. So I've already done one end. Right now to do the other end, all I do is flip it around, and I have to add a subduct here. So add duct, it comes out at the same size, beautiful. All I have to do, smart length, I'm done. So now I've connected it to the main headers, and because it's a separate entity, it's not a part of the other tree structure, I can clone it. This will save you a lot of time because I noticed in your model there's a lot of symmetry in your duct work. So you can make as many of these as you want, and you can apply it, and it will just replicate them. So if you've got symmetry there and those headers going across, use this method to take advantage of that, and it will work fine. Thank you.